Hi, Jerry. Did you need to see me?
Hi, Gene. Have a seat. I wanted to go over this project that you've been working on with operations.
What's the matter, Jerry? Have they been complaining about that project again?
Well, I got this email from Jack this morning. He seems upset.
I suppose you're going to take Jack's side on this?
I don't want to make this a we versus them issue, Gene. I just want to understand everyone's viewpoint, yours, mine, and Jack's.
That's fine, Jerry. I just think you need to consider the fact of how much pressure I've been under before you start chewing me out.
I'm not here to chew you out, Gene. I just want to openly discuss this and listen to each other's perspective and talk about some possible solutions. Does that seem fair?
I can't think of a better alternative. So where do we go from here? Do you want someone else to take the project?
No, Gene, I'm not ready for that. Look, this memo from Jack doesn't come as a big surprise to you. Can you help me understand what's been happening?
Like I've been telling you all along, the operations people expect us to read their minds. They don't appreciate our priorities or time pressures.
It sounds like it's been pretty difficult.
Listen, Jerry, no one seems to consider the fact that our workload is up 5% over last year. You know, Jerry, we should get more appreciation given the fact we work our tails off.
You're probably right.
Why did you tell Jack that?
Do you believe that helping Jack appreciate our workload decreases his right as a customer to expect our full support?
So, you think I'm to blame?
If a project isn't going well, we're all responsible, including me.
Okay, I guess you have a point there. So you want me to be more diplomatic, is that it?
Well, before we talk about solutions, I'd like to be clear about the situation. Let me share my information, and then I'd like to hear your perspective.
Okay, have at it. I just don't know what good it will do.
It seems like you don't really want to work on this. Is there something wrong?
No. It's just that I have 15 years experience, and that just doesn't seem to count much around here anymore.
It does count with me. Do you believe that?
You know, I'm willing to stay open on that, I guess. What do you want me to do?
Well, I have the impression that our clients have a small role in their projects. It appears their needs aren't clearly or completely defined, and that once a project gets started, there are very few progress reports. I just don't think they feel very much ownership in the process.
What are you saying? I wasn't hired to be a diplomat or to be worried about someone else's feelings.
Gene, let me see if I've heard what you're saying. First, you think that our workload and our other priorities have a big impact on this project, and that you think it's unreasonable for us to expect our project leaders spend time with their clients, scoping out their needs.
Look, Jerry, things have changed since you were in the IT business. Things are more complex. It takes a lot of time to stay up on the new architecture, the applications, the systems. Our clients need to trust me. I know what I am doing, and they need to relax. I've been around here long enough to give them what they need. My job is technology, not this touchy-feely diplomacy you're talking about.
It sounds like we have different perceptions of the job. Gene, I want to be very clear on this. I do expect project leaders like yourself to be very skillful at communicating and collaborating with our customers. We need their input and involvement if we're going to work together as partners.
That sounds idealistic to me.
Gene, you've listened to my viewpoint. Now tell me how you see your relationship with the customers. What do you think your relationship with a customer like Jack should be like?
You know Jack. He acts like he knows everything. You see, the trouble is he can't explain to me exactly what he needs. He expects the technology to work miracles all by itself.
It sounds like Jack's been a challenge, so how have you handled it?
Well, to be honest with you, I took my usual approach. I tried to give the impression that I was at least listening, and quite honestly, then I took off on my own, and I designed a solution that I am sure will really work great for them. You see, I really believe I know what they need. I don't expect Jack to be the expert. That's my job.
So how's it turning out?
Well, I finished the project ahead of schedule and under budget, like always, mainly because we didn't waste a lot of time talking.
I see. And what's the situation today? Are they satisfied with your work?
Well, yes, except for a few minor complaints. Look, everyone knows the operators are chronic complainers. You see, their chief concern is the lack of training for their technicians. That's all. Listen, Jerry, I can make this more user-friendly if that will get them off our backs.
Well, Jack seems to feel that there's more to it than just training. The program just doesn't give them what they asked for, specifically cost breakdowns, charge codes, and budget estimates.
You see, that's the problem. They keep changing their minds. One day they want the original budget estimate, the next day they want something else. I don't know what they want. I don't think they know what they want.
Gene, I think I'd like you to consider a different point of view.
Like what?
Well, I think the cause of Jack's concern stems from the fact that he feels little input or ownership in the project. He seems confused. He doesn't know what his finished project's going to be, when he's going to have it, or what it's going to cost. And from my observation, there have been very few meetings or clearly documented specs for this project.
Well, what do you want me to do? I've got other projects and priorities. Operations isn't my only concern. Besides, if they knew more about technology, we wouldn't have this problem in the first place.
I understand, and I know that you have other projects, Gene. It's just that I think we need to be creative in figuring out a solution. Have you ever just sat down with Jack and talked about his expectations?
Well, no. He always has some urgent meeting going on, or he's out of town. Besides, I have a hard time seeing what difference it makes. You know, we've got more work than we can handle now. You know what? If they want us to work with them, they need to show us more courtesy.
Gene, what I'm hearing is that you like to work hard. You like to work fast, get in, get out, move on. Is that accurate?
It has worked for me in the past.
And I would agree that in the past our clients have depended on us totally. But today is different. Today our clients know more about their needs. They have higher expectations.
Are you serious?
I am. I think the approach we are taking now affects the image of our department and your reputation.
I don't think anyone in this company questions my technical reputation.
Gene, when was the last time that a client specifically asked that you work on a project with them?
All right. Maybe I have been a little tough with some of the clients. It's just that I feel I really know what a client needs. After all, after being in a company for 15 years, you do learn something.
Absolutely. Gene, you have a tremendous business and technology base that we can build on. Let me take a different angle here for a moment. Picture yourself bringing a new team member on board. Would you be upset if the HR department told you which person you had to hire?
Well, sure. If I have to work with a person, I want to have a key part in the decision-making process.
Well, don't you think maybe Jack and the other clients feel the same way when you bring a new system on board?
Well, I never thought of it that way. It's just that I don't think we have enough time to be nice to everyone. Let's face it, Jerry, we are so busy sometimes that we have to push and shove to get the work out.
We'll always be busy, Gene, but I feel that if we want to, we can figure out a process that will give the clients more ownership in their own projects.
I guess you have a point. What can I say? I guess I'll just have to try hard to do a better job in the future.
Okay, that sounds good. Could we define some specifics to get started on?
That's hard, Jerry. The clients are all so different. I can't control what they do.
That's true. They are all different, but I feel that perhaps you could control the way you interact with them. You know, I just believe that the process starts with us, how we set up our strategies and our choices in setting up our programs.
Well, maybe I could try a little harder to listen to their needs.
Okay, that's a great place to start. So any other ideas on this project with Jack?
If you could talk to Jack and explain to him what our time constraints are, maybe you'll be more realistic and back off.
I'd be happy to talk to Jack, but will that take you out of the loop with him?
Well, maybe both of us need to talk with Jack.
I'd be willing, but I want this to be your meeting. I'll be there to support you, but I think you should take the lead. How can you handle the meeting to up our chances of success?
I don't know. Jack and I don't exactly see eye to eye. We're like oil and water.
How can I help?
I think you can help by keeping the conversation on track, focusing on project requirements, and not on personal differences between Jack and me.
Have you and Jack ever talked about developing a written agreement? It worked really well for me at my last job, and I think I still have some of the forms around here if you'd like to use them.
Whoa, wait a minute. I'm not very good at fitting myself into other people's little boxes. I think I know what a project document should look like. We kind of do that now informally.
Well, I believe you know. But are you opposed to using a written agreement to keep the discussion focused with Jack?
Good point. But I want to develop this document because if I'm going to use it, I need to be able to believe in it.
That's a good point. So what are the basic elements that you would include?
Well, off the top of my head, it should include project objectives, timetables, expected outputs, and budget limits, and a process we will use to negotiate changes in the scope of work.
That's a great outline. Could I also suggest that we need a review process and define who has approval authority?
That doesn't sound too bad to me.
So what do you think? Is this plan doable?
Sure. And can you see if Jack will be available for a meeting tomorrow afternoon at 3? And can you be there?
I'll be there. Jean, I really appreciate your ideas on this. I'm excited about this. I think we can turn Jack and our other clients into partners.
You know, if this is going to be our direction, I'm going to need to brush up on my communication skills.
You know, we can tackle your communication skills in a lot of ways. I've got some books and there are some classes, and I can line you up with some great people who would be great mentors. I'm willing to work with you any way you want on that.
Sounds like a good start.
So, do you foresee any other obstacles, short-term or long-term?
Not right now, but this is a big change for me, and I'm sure we'll run into some hurdles down the road.
Jean, if you can move forward on these ideas, I think your clients will see your expertise and your value to this organization.
I hope it will work.
Can you see how important these changes are?
Well, I'm sure it will cut down on some of the complaints, and, well, let's face it, I really don't want to cut out my chances for growth in this company.
You know, let me add that Jack would be a great ally for us as we roll out our budget requests for new hardware.
So, I don't know what you mean.
Well, he's a very vocal member of the budget committee.
Oh, I see.
Plus, Jack is frequently consulted when the organization is filling key positions. He can be a real champion for us and do some great word-of-mouth advertising.
You know, I appreciate these insights. I just wish they'd come earlier.
Well, Jane, that's my responsibility. I mean, I should have initiated more dialogue on this sooner. So, let's see if we're together on our strategy. You're going to outline ideas for the new project agreement.
That's right, and maybe we should meet tomorrow morning.
Great. How about 10? 10 o'clock?
Sounds good.
And I'm going to get back to Jack since he sent me the email, see if we can meet him at 3.
That's right, and make sure he knows we will both be there.
Okay.
And so that means we are both going to do some research on some communication skills training.
Good point, and I'll need a couple of days to work on that.
Why don't we meet at the end of the week?
Okay. Jean, I think this is a great opportunity for us to move in the direction we need to be going. I appreciate your openness on this. And I want you to know my door's always open if you ever need to talk.
Thanks for being clear on that. See you at 10?
See you at 10.